Howdy folks, sitting here in 2023 for a monthly update. You know what that means? Rugby World Cup year. Rugby World Cup, folks. It's not that far away. Feels a little bit surreal. Time has flown since 2019, but yeah, here we are sitting in 2023. Happy New Year if I haven't seen you between New Year's and now. But cheers for coming along. It is the monthly update where we go over some of the stats and things from last month. A few news stories, a Wallabies coach leaving, Joe Marler getting a ban for verbally abusing another player, and favourites for the Six Nations. But yeah, I hope you guys are all good. Cheers for coming along, and Rugby World Cup, yeah. Happy days. What's been going on in the month that was? Well, biggest bit of news last month, based on views on this channel, was Eddie Jones getting sacked. I know that's still a pretty divisive one. Some people think it's kind of really short-sighted and a bit of a disastrous decision. Some people said the results and the performances weren't there, so it's overdue. But either way, we're about to find out, because the Six Nations is only a month away, so we will see how England go with a change of management. I'm still kind of, maybe I just watched too many Eddie Jones press conferences and I'm a little bit brainwashed by him, but I still feel like he had a plan. Yeah, I don't know. We will obviously see how the results go under Steve Borthwick. What else is going on? Most viewers in the month of December were from South Africa. Number one, and interestingly, you can filter by cities, which I didn't realise. Cape Town responsible for almost 10% of the views in December. That's crazy. One city. Dublin and Pretoria also the top three. London, Joburg, Auckland, Sydney, kind of rounding out some of the other top cities. But yeah, South Africa number one. UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, that's the top five. Kind of usual suspects, with the order just sometimes changing depending on who's playing. And then USA, France, Canada also just outside the top five. So yeah, if you guys have been along in December, cheers for doing so. Subscribe if you haven't, man. Only 43% of people have subscribed, which I think is up from normal. Usually it's in the 30s, I want to say. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed, do us a favor, man. I don't ask for it very often. Please subscribe to the channel. YouTube loves all that kind of engagement, comments and likes, and long view durations and subscriptions is one of the things YouTube likes. So if you could, you would have the thanks of 2 cents. Speaking of 2 cents, thanks. All these people, all the Patreon people who support the channel, chucking us a few bucks every month, and I chuck a few more videos. If you wanted more videos, not that there's enough on the regular channel itself, but yeah, all these people help keep the channel afloat. So big thanks to all these people, especially to Angus, Jack, and Michael. But yeah, if you want to help and join this illustrious lot and have your name scrolled on a YouTube video once a month, check the link down to Patreon in the description. I'd appreciate it. But if you don't, that's all good. I know the prices of everything is going up, so yeah, tough times for everybody. But yeah, cheers to these people basically. And yeah, what did we do? We talked about Super Rugby getting locked in after being a bit up in the air between New Zealand and Australia. We talked about some of the player movements like Khaleesi going to Racing and Sawakula going to France and Morgan going to Japan. Bit of Super Brew stuff, you know, the predictions games. People always ask me what my predictions are. Talk about them on Patreon and whatnot. So yeah, cheers to all you wonderful people. Support definitely means a lot, and basically keeps the channel going. Oh, and Declan was our latest Patreon subscriber, so cheers to Declan for coming along in December 2022. What's been going on news-wise? Well, Scott Wisemantel, Wallabies assistant coach, who I believe looks after their attack, is leaving. Just out from a World Cup, like 8 months or so out from a World Cup, has decided to leave his position as Wallabies assistant coach. Weird timing. I would have thought the one event that you want to go to desperately is the Rugby World Cup. I mean, he basically said that it's the best for him and his family, which is, I don't know what's going on in his family life, potentially very true. You know, there could be lots of reasons you want to stay at home more. So, yeah, but I would have thought if you can go for another 8 months and then finish, go to Rugby World Cup. But nope, he's off. So that's pretty disruptive, I would have thought, for the Wallabies. Dave Rennie said they tried to keep him, but they respect his decision. So, yeah, very awkward timing for the Wallabies. Now you got to bring in somebody new, which potentially means, a lot of changes to the way you're running the show, because new people are going to have new ideas. And kind of unfortunately, that's the second assistant coach to step down within a few months. Matt Taylor stepped down during the Rugby Championship, the defence coach. So, yeah, it's all going on in Wallabies country, isn't it? So, yeah, we will see what happens. If Wisemantel links up with any other coaches or jobs, or whether he just stays home and does his family thing, kind of remains to be seen. Wish him well for whatever he does, and we'll keep an eye out on who the replacement is with the Wallabies. Joe Marler, England and Harlequins prop, got himself a ban for some bad language. Called one of his opponents' mother's a nasty name, and picked up on camera. And yeah, it just so happened, I think it was Jake Heenan, right? His mum, who was the one copping the abuse, just so happens to be in hospital. So, yeah, not ideal. Not ideal. So, Joe Marler's been banned for that. For, I think, 2 weeks plus 4 weeks suspended sentence. So, if he does anything else similar in the next year or so, then he'll have to serve an extra long ban. But I think it's 2 weeks for now. So, it's a weird one, because in all my sports growing up as a kid, people give each other a bit of stick. That's, it's kind of par for the course, but I guess if it gets picked up on microphone, you put yourself in a dangerous position. I mean, cricket is terrible for it, especially the sledging that goes on in that sport. But I mean, it happens, I would have thought, in most kind of elite level sports. So yeah, he's just unfortunate that he's been caught doing this kind of thing before, hasn't he? So Joe Marler, always in the news for one reason or another. Apparently his missus called him a moron, is what he said on his podcast. So yeah, just take the risk, I guess, if you're going to do that at the level where all the microphones can catch that kind of stuff, and especially talking about someone's mum, and then that mum happens to be in hospital. Pretty bad look. Pretty bad look. So, yeah, a bit of a weird one, though. Especially when you consider, I think Callum Mahoney from Scarlet's got a 2-week ban for a punch to the face, punching someone in the head. Same ban as for using some bad words. I don't know. It just seems like a bit of a weird one. And then the Six Nations favourite. Six Nations is only like a month away, folks. I've opened a Super Brew pool, so that'll be down in the description as well if you want to join in, if you know your predictions. I finished second in my pool last year in the Six Nations. I think the year before I was first, so Six Nations seems to be my thing. I was top 1% of overall players last year. Not to blow my own trumpet, but Six Nations I'm decent at picking, at least historically. 2023 may be different, but yeah, I thought I'd have a look. Who are the bookies' favourites without having too much of a look into it, because we'll have a look once all the squads are announced and a bit closer to the tournament. But France, kind of unsurprisingly, are favourites. Having a look, I seem to remember that France's draw this year is by no means as kind as it was last year. I don't mean to say last year's was easy, but I remember they had Ireland at home, which was certainly a factor. So, yeah. It's going to be an interesting one, isn't it, to see how things line up. We've still got some squads to go, like I said before that. But, yeah, that's the monthly update, folks. Thank you all for coming along. If you've subscribed, if you've liked, if you've commented, even just viewing, it all helps the Patreon people. Helps mad amounts, all the people who've done the whole buy me a coffee thing. That's been, buy me a beer. That's been phenomenal. Yeah, man, the support on the channel is amazing, and it's going to get better because Rugby World Cup, seriously not that far away. So, yeah, hope you guys are all well. Take care of yourselves. We look forward to the rugby in January, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.